Theater Talk is made possible in part by the CUNY TV Foundation.
In the name of God, you want? Do you want to borrow money?
No! I do not want to borrow money. I am sick of borrowing money. I want the estate divided, so me and my precious girls can have some peace for a change.
From New York City, this is Theater Talk. I'm the show's producer, Susan Haskins.
And I'm Michael Riedel of the New York Post.
It's the time of year when many people are reminded of the drawbacks of having a big family. But you've got nothing on the Gordon family in Horton Foote's wonderful play, Dividing the Estate.
That fine play is at the Booth Theater here in New York City. Now, this is a play about a Texas family that has a very large plantation, and the next generation is trying to get their hands all over it. It is a terrific American play written by one of our leading playwrights in this country. Horton Foote, welcome to Theater Talk, your first time on the show.
Thank you. Lovely to be here.
Yes, well, it's a wonderful play, and congratulations on its success.
Thank you.
And you brought along a couple of these family members.
My two favorites.
Your two favorites.
Don't say that, don't say that.
He's
a silver-tongued devil.
Well, I know she's your favorite because she is your charming, lovely, and very talented daughter. Hallie Foote, welcome to Theater Talk.
It's nice to be here.
And just a great performance in Dividing the Estate.
Thank you.
And you live here. You're here all the time, my dear.
Well, I mean, I just sort of hang around, you know.
Our great friend Elizabeth Ashley, absolutely brilliant as the matriarch of this this difficult family in the play.
Thank you, but mainly thank Horton. It's that rare thing where it's just all on the page.
Yeah.
Every single thing is on the page, and in the words and the song and the language of it. I mean, it's just, and the humor.
I'm gonna ask you the first questions because I met these ladies the other night, and I can see they'll just envelop us all in a minute. We won't get a word in edgewise. You wrote this play in the 1980s.
87.
87.
Yeah.
Right. And was it based on a family? Is it based on a family that you knew?
A million families that I've known.
A million families in Texas who fought over these kind of.
Well, even any place in America, it could be. It is. Well, think what happened to that lovely lady that was the grande dame of New York society.
Oh, Mrs. Astor.
Mrs. Astor, precisely. Right, you're right. You're absolutely right.
Look at the family she had.
You were prophetic in describing that situation.
Well, you're also prophetic in describing in the play what's happening in the economy today, since the reason the family is scrapping over this estate is that they've lost what money that they managed to have because they're losing their jobs and they've lost their money in the real estate market. In fact, you play Liz's daughter.
Yes.
And your husband and you your real estate business has gone belly up, and you've got to get your hands on this money to keep your lifestyle going.
Well, and we've also been spending through the inheritance. So there's, it's kind of like we think it's the endless money pit, and of course, we're in for a rude awakening.
That's right. And what is it, Liz, that your character, the mother, what is she trying to protect? What does that estate represent to her that she does not want to divide it up and give it away to these kids?
The land, that which lasts. No, she says this wonderful thing late in the play when pushed by her demon daughter over there, and I mean, but because they all want to drill for oil on it, they all want to get gas leases and oil leases, and finally, I mean, and Stella, my character, finally says, no, not on my estate. I want no oil wells or gas wells on my land. They poison the land. They ruin it forever. And I think the great miraculous thing being said there is capitalism in the country we live in and the sort of fatness of our culture is based very much on short-term gain. Get it now, get mine, get it, get it, get it. And what is perfectly evident now is that we've not only poisoned our land, for the most part, but we've poisoned our spirit. It's poisoned our national identity. It's poisoned our souls in some way. And I think Stella she's what, 83 years old, and Stella has lived long enough and seen enough. She lived through the Depression. They survived that. And she knows that to grab it, take it, eat it now is destruction.
Right. But now, I mean, not all of your character has many unattractive qualities, shall we say, but can you make the case for her that, what is the point of keeping this plantation going for sentimental sake? We have practical needs in our lives now, and we are part of this family, and we're entitled to something from our mother, from our legacy.
Well, I think, it's her. I think her logic, too, is, that there's siblings living in the house, and they've got the benefits of that, plus they're getting money that's not being taken out of the estate. And so I think Mary Jo sort of sees it as, yeah, I've taken this money, but they've been paid money that's not considered,
Yes, her
part
brother's
of their
being paid
inheritance.
to manage the estate.
Correct.
Yeah.
And then, there's a kind of wastrel brother that's there and taken care of, and yeah, he's been given money, but he's never going to leave the house. So she's the only one that's outside and sort of floundering a bit.
Well, she's married. She has two
true.
daughters. I mean, it's survival.
Yeah.
But basically, I mean, I think people are all kind of... Everyone in the play really is concerned with survival, and pretty much the way the world is right now.
But survival of a lifestyle, which is quite luxurious.
Horton, when you wrote this play in the 80s, is this something that you saw going on?
I've lived with this.
You've lived with...
I've lived with this. And then the other thing that I've lived with, to see a street or a section of a town transformed, and the house is gone, and
the Dunkin' Donuts and McDonald's coming up.
Oh,
that's right.
Well, I mean, because Stella says in the play at one point, she says, look out there. Look what's surrounding us now, fruit markets and fast food restaurants, and that's what happens when you sell your land. And couldn't be truer.
And then when you say you live with this, was this the way you grew up in?
I didn't do much when I was living there except listen. And I did listen a great deal, and I was always fascinated by older people and their stories. And most of their stories were about things like this. Who's got this, and who's going to get this, and who's going to,
So you were a quiet little boy just in the corner watching this?
And I think, I don't know how they feel about me now, but I don't try to be specific. I try to accumulate and then find a new person.
I'm just interested in your writing style. How long does it take you to write a play like this? Are you a quick writer, or do you struggle over these things?
It depends on the play.
Yeah.
On some of them, well, the trip to Bountiful, I did it in a week.
Yeah, really?
And it's 54 years old and still being done.
Wonderful play, yeah.
And this one came very quickly. But it was the first production, and I, sorry to say this, was not a good production.
And when it was done originally?
Yeah, it was done at the McCarty Theater. And
what was off about that production that has gone right with this one?
They wanted the results.
Meaning?
Well, they wanted to be, not work, really. They just wanted to...
Didn't they play We're in the Money at intermission?
Well, yes, this is the director. Wait a minute. The director. I woke up, I was in the theater, and I heard, We're in the Money. He said, I'm using this during the intermission. The director's now, I think, with his maker, so I can speak a little plainly about it.
We're in the money, my gosh. Can you imagine?
Oh, easily. Oh, yeah.
Your father's incredibly prolific, right? 60-some...
Some plays, yeah.
And he lives with you now in California. Is he writing every day?
He writes. So he's right now. He's working on he wrote these 9 plays called the Orphans Home Cycle. It sort of traces his father. I said you didn't ever go into therapy. This was his therapy with his father, so we're working on it.
Was his father in an orphan's home?
his father was semi-orphaned. His mother married someone else and didn't take her with him. So he was kind of on his own at about 11 or 12. And it begins with the death of his father's father, and it ends with the death of his mother's father. That's the, and it's based on a poem, Marion Moore poem. There's a line, all the world's an orphan's home.
The world's an orphan's
The world's
home.
an orphan's home. Anyway, they're getting ready to do it. Michael Wilson wants to.
Who directed this Divided
Oh,
Estate?
yeah.
They want to do it.
He's talented, don't you
Oh,
think?
he's
Very
talented.
he's a
goodness,
brilliant
yes.
director.
He's very talented.
So they want to do it like a Coast of Utopia, like a 9-hour kind of.
Oh, the
they're
Horton
gonna-
Foote epic cycle. Are you the first person he shows the plays to? Do you get to read the first?
My
the
mother
first draft?
was really the one, and he shows me, yeah, but I don't know. Am I the first one that sees them when you've done them lately? I guess
No,
so.
no, yes, she's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's great. When did you first become aware of Horton Foote as an actress?
Oh, don't ask her.
Oh,
I'm so embarrassed about this.
I think, well, probably like a lot of the people, myself, I think with probably the screenplay of To Kill a Mockingbird, you know, because I had, you know, it's like I'd sort of been sort of thrilled by the book, and then and I must say I think even more thrilled by the film, you know. I think Horton is a very great writer, and what he said a few moments ago, when he said, well, I just listened, you know, and if you go back through like the history of literature and the theater and everything, I mean, from Tolstoy to Nabokov, I mean, and right down that's the one thing that they will all tell you about themselves in their lives, is that they listened to people's stories, you know, and I don't know if it's something in the DNA that harkens back to when we were tribal or something, but there's something about when people tell you their stories. It's different from reading or whatever, but listening to human stories. And Horton's ear is so precise, and so, I mean, it like cuts to the center of the middle of the marrow of the bone of the thing, and in so doing, it becomes universal. Everyone who has ever seen this play, from the time we did it at primary stages, everybody, people will hang around outside the stage, or just people we don't, just to say, it's my family. Everybody believes it's their family, because as with all great art, I think, the more universal you want something to be, the more specific and precise it has to be. I think one of the most unique things about this play is, I think we have a character on stage that we have not seen before, certainly in American theater or film, you know, and I don't even know in other words,
Hallie's character.
Hallie's character, and it's all there on the page, but what Hallie does with it, and I've been doing this 50 years, it is the most original and unique performance.
My God. I am so depressed. Lucille always paints a black picture of everything. She takes the joy out of everything. Always has.
You get the pick of the best roles, right? I mean, since your father wrote the play, you
Well,
you
I
get to...
asked if I could play this part. I just something, I read it and.
But I mean, have you ever seen that character before? In
This monstrous
No, but you don't you
middle-aged
just
woman.
love her?
Yes.
Because she tells the truth. This character tells the truth about the things that nobody ever tells
She's
the
so
truth
openly
about.
greedy. That's it.
But I don't know. Is it just greed? I don't
Well,
know.
let's ask, is it greed?
When you felt those things in your life, did you think yourself greedy? No, you thought you
Later.
were just. Okay. I'm going to shut up now.
No. But later on, I felt ashamed.
Okay.
But
You
did
could say
write
that
this?
perhaps Mary Jo has no shame.
Well, I think she's uncensored. I just think
Yeah,
she's
she does.
unedited, you know, and I think there's something very freeing about that.
Have you written plays with your daughter in mind now that she's become...
I'm not going to tell you.
Why not?
Because I'm not sure sometimes. I think that, where did this come from? And
Yes, me, yeah.
my wife's no longer living. but she's the daughter of my wife. And I think the characteristics that moved me most in my wife, because she was semi-orphaned in a curious kind of way, I transferred my attachment to Hallie. And I free her because I never insist and get into what she's doing. But I'm also grateful.
Do you have a sense, since he said earlier that the way he writes is just by being around and listening, are you ever aware that you might be under the microscope since he's in the house
Yeah,
now?
I don't think he's listening to me. I think it's more it's the voices that he heard as a child a lot, and that inform him, and then the people that remain in the town and the town itself.
What is the town?
It's called Horton, Texas.
And you've been? Mm-hmm. And I mean, I guess you went quite a bit.
Not when I was younger. We've gone more lately.
When you go back to that town now, I mean, knowing your father's plays so well, seeing these plays, reading these plays, being in these plays.
It means a lot more to me now. I think it's sort of like being the teenage daughters, the daughters in their 20s in the play. In my 20s, I didn't appreciate, you know. Now, it's very moving to me when I go back to that town. There are things about it I love, and I love being. He has the house that he was brought to when he was 2 years old, and my great-grandmother's house is right behind his house, and they fixed that up. So there's this little pocket, you know, that sort of stayed the same, even all around.
Are some of the voices of the people who are in the plays, are those people, some of them still alive in that town? Do you recognize
A lot of them
people?
are gone. But it's always a mix anyway, and then there are people that are connected to the people, so it reminds you of the people, you know. So.
Well, and the things that are discussed in this play are, I mean, you would think this play was written yesterday.
Yeah.
Because of the way it addresses the terrible apocalyptic emergency that's going on in our country now, you know? And, I mean, people find it really difficult to believe that it was written in '87.
Well, I'll tell you the scariest thing about this play, though. If hell is other people, as Sartre says, at the end of this play, when you have this family...
Don't give it away.
All right,
Don't give it away. Don't give it away.
I mean, the hell
Don't
that you've
give it-
created for these people
is profound.
is
Yes.
very profound.
Yes, it is.
For them to...
Well, but you call it hell. On the other hand, it could be salvation.
Yeah.
Well, that is true.
It may teach them.
It may teach them how to look out for someone
And
besides themselves for the first time in their
And
life.
people
yes, and
are
that-
survivors.
And that's why it's so today, is because you have these people who
Yeah.
are so self-absorbed, as we all have been in this era, and don't quite get the community that they must have to survive.
Yeah.
I'd like to say one thing about actors,
Oh, please.
because I depend on them very strongly. And there have been women actresses, I don't know why this is, have had a great influence on me. And I think of Kim Stanley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she was a baby when we met, and I'm Geraldine,
It was so brilliant in A Trip to Bountiful.
yes, and my lovely friend over here.
Oh, well, thank you. That's very...
Well,
I-
it is the quality that I've always gone after.
And what is the quality? Can you articulate that thing that Kim
Well, they
Stanley
know who they are, and they're not ashamed of who they are. And they don't mind finding a role that, well, Geraldine, you know, played this old woman,
Yeah.
but she aged right in front of your eyes.
Yeah, yeah.
And she's doing the same thing. I mean,
Yeah.
Thank you.
Do you write with these great actresses in
no,
mind
I
at all?
don't, but I run to them.
You know, Liz is also, we've gone to see her in many productions. She loves the theater. And,
Yes, she does.
And she's brave, you know, and you don't get that a lot anymore. Talent and bravery,
Thank you.
and then love of the theater. She's
Well,
she's
but it's
at
the
that.
only thing I'm good at. You know
Doesn't
what I mean?
matter.
It
Doesn't
really-
matter.
I find that so hard to
No,
believe.
no, truly.
I think she's
truly.
good at a lot of things, but she's really good at.
I was a good sailor, and I'm a good actress. But I mean, like I was never. I mean, I'm really kind of a rotten film actor. I mean, I was never comfortable in it. You know what I mean? I never felt like. And I mean, I feel.
And you can
I
do
feel more
wigs.
comfortable on the stage than I do like sitting here or even at home. I mean, I can, and I think that's one of life's great mysteries. But I mean, people. You obviously do not think of me as an inhibited person. However, I can do things on the stage and actually feel things on the stage that I really can't in life.
She's also one of the most generous people. And when we were at Primary Stages, we were all sharing a dressing room, and she was putting everybody's wigs on them. Liz is really good at
this
wigs. Did you
generation
know
has
that?
no wig skills. They've got no wig skills.
you
They
get
have
there,
very
you
few
have a-
makeup skills.
Yeah.
I mean,
She
and
was
it takes
passing out
an
different
old
makeup
stage
things,
whore
telling us
to
tricks.
straighten them
Yeah.
out.
Why?
Yeah.
Why is it? Why
True.
It was fabulous. She does Penny Fuller's wig every night. Did you know that? She is.
Well, that
And she
was a
does
fun-
her own.
Yes.
I mean, it's amazing to me.
But that's the fun of it. I mean,
I
the
know, but it's a
playing
family.
dress-up part is what's fun in the theater.
And that's what's been so great about this play is it's been like a big family. I mean,
it's
it's spite of the dysfunction on stage
On
and
stage,
the
it's-
craziness.
no dysfunction or craziness
Well, there's
backstage.
a lot of we're very
Even with her?
happy.
I tell you, I've been in some ensemble plays. I've never ever been in an ensemble that was this strong. Where everybody is just torquing it tough. You know, it's great.
No, it's great. It's great. It's a wonderful play, Dividing the Estate at the Booth Theater. We hope it runs a nice long time there.
Well, you're a limited run,
we're limited.
unfortunately.
Yes,
so-
but-
But
and-
there's talk of an extension.
No. We just
just
found
found
out
out.
today that the Schubert organization,
Somebody's
et cetera,
coming in, yeah.
I think because they had another play booked in
Yeah.
to come in there, and these economic times, as you have written about so very well, are hitting the theater hard, and I think.
Your house looked full to me the other night.
Our
No, we're doing
numbers
very
are
well.
great.
Get over there by January 4th.
Don't miss Dividing the
Don't miss
Estate
Dividing
by
the Estate.
Horton Foote. Thank you very much for coming on tonight. It's very nice to see you. Lovely daughter, Hallie Foote, thank you for joining us and being so wonderful in that play. And you'll be back soon enough, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, whenever somebody falls out, you call me
That's
up.
right, exactly. Liz Ashley, you're
I've
always,
never done that.
I want a wig lesson from you.
Sugar, I've got wig skills.
The time is coming.
Right.
Right.
Thank you very much.
Sing.
There's only one way to economize. That's to have a garden, grow your own vegetables, kill your own hogs, have a cow and calves and chickens. There is no reason this place cannot be self-sufficient again.
Oh my God, Mama, be sensible. We're living in the middle of the town on a highway. You can't keep pigs and chickens and cows